Interstate 45 acts as a massive artery, moving heavy traffic directly between Houston and the coastal city of Galveston. Take a specific exit near League City, and you arrive at the intersection of Calder Road and Irvin Street. This borders a desolate 25-acre patch of land just off the highway. Since the early 1970s, local police have officially recovered more than 30 bodies from this specific narrow corridor. The victims were overwhelmingly young women and girls aged 12 to 25, and many shared distinct physical traits like long, dark hair. In standard criminological profiling, a highly concentrated dumping ground packed with identical victim profiles almost universally points to one highly prolific serial killer. But investigators eventually caught multiple completely unconnected men for these murders, including convicted killers like Edward Harold Bell. Yet, even with these men locked in prison, bodies continued to appear in the brush. Multiple entirely separate serial killers were using the exact same graveyard. How could dozens of disjointed murders occur in the exact same spot without any of the killers running into each other or getting caught in the act? The answer starts with the physical environment of the League City oil fields. This area is an isolated, marshy wetland far removed from residential eyes. The region is covered in aggressive flora. Thick, prickly pear cacti and tangled deadwood form an instant, impenetrable physical barrier to hide a body from the road. The harsh swamp environment rapidly degrades organic material. In this climate, tissue and fabric break down into mud within weeks, completely destroying crucial DNA evidence. The terrain actively dissolved forensic evidence, acting as a passive accomplice to multiple predators over decades. The geography only explains how the bodies were hidden. To understand how the killers found their targets, we have to look at the acquisition points located directly off the highway exits. Back in the 1970s, hitchhiking was a very common way to travel. This created a constant stream of highly vulnerable, untrackable targets, standing mere feet from a high-speed escape route. This map of Interstate 45 shows the highway's mechanical advantage. Killers could acquire targets at roadside nodes, utilize League City, and disappear across state lines. The Shapit network theory explains how unconnected predators discovered this hotspot. Mapping out transient hubs reveals a decentralized shared network. Information about secluded, consequence-free locations spreads through these transient communities, turning League City into a known, shared hotspot for traveling predators. The interstate functioned as a massive, lethal conveyor belt. Its infrastructure allowed killers to grab a victim, dump the evidence, and quickly vanish in under an hour. Decades later, a massive joint effort between the FBI and local police attempted to finally clear the fields and identify the remaining victims. Men like William Lewis Reese eventually gave deathbed confessions, closing a handful of cold cases. However, due to the total degradation of DNA evidence in the swamp, over a dozen Jane Doe cases from the corridor remain completely unsolved today. You might wonder if modern surveillance, widespread camera systems, and developmental clearing have finally neutralized this specific geographical trap. While the original 25-acre patch in League City is heavily monitored today, the broader Interstate 45 corridor retains the exact same high-speed, transient infrastructure that made it dangerous in the first place. The terror of the Texas killing fields is rooted in a specific combination of everyday American infrastructure and desolate geography, which quietly facilitated decades of disjointed violence.